Our environment was a gift from God that's under His control. We live in a world of many extremes, and it's our duty as Christians to be discerning and seek clarity in our decisions with all of the controversy that surrounds us. Genesis provides the idea of environmental stewardship with enough controversy to last a lifetime. Issues such as overpopulation, vegetarians versus omnivores, pollution, and misuse of resources are all products of the corruption of mankind and human interpretations of this scripture. With Christians that reside in both extremes of the environmental spectrum and those that rest in the middle, it's difficult to know how we're actually supposed to respond to the Bible. So Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 reads, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. This verse tends to be attached to most environmental discussions or debates, but interestingly enough, it is utilized by both sides for support of their positions. Extremities in anything tend to turn people off, and dividing Christians into environmental or non-environmental eliminates the majority that reside in the middle. There's got to be a balance. Our relationship with the Lord throughout the years has been in covenants. The land was a large part of God's covenants with Adam and Noah and Moses, and it was often used as a response to his followers' faithfulness or their sin. The curses that fall upon the Israelites are burdensome, but righteous. In Hosea, God promises us relief in the form of a new covenant. He's preparing his people for the coming of Christ. That's where our new creation and covenant is found. He renewed and restored this world through his death and resurrection because our God chose to hold up his end of the covenant regardless of the failure on our part. Therefore, the work that we're called to do is inherently in him. Our place to work or tend or keep is right where we are in the moment. It's a part of who we are as a new creation. To go along with that, one of the items that needs to be addressed in environmentalist action should be why we're performing that specific act. Is it to lengthen our time here or to glorify our Creator? Genesis chapter 9 verse 13 reads, everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. When I was reading through this, it stood out to me as yet another moment where God gives us direction and a blessing, but we've corrupted and distorted it. We're told to do everything in prayer, and yet we forget to seek God's guidance in simple but important daily choices. This includes our food consumption. Approximately 925 million people suffer from hunger around the world, and roughly 1/3 of the edible parts of food that are produced for human consumption gets lost or wasted globally, which is about 1.3 billion tons per year. In industrialized countries, food gets lost when production exceeds demand, creating a surplus that contributes to large amounts of wasted food. There are ways to prevent this large amount of waste that's going on. Good communication between farmers can eliminate the excessive production, and their cooperation with each other could reduce the tension. Premature harvesting often occurs when the farmers and families are struggling financially, but it creates products that don't do us any good. By diversifying what small farmers are producing, we can increase the amounts and profit while decreasing the waste. While I believe that God is in control of everything, He also has called us to be good stewards of what He has given us. The economic and environmental problems that stem from greed and mistrust of God's providing are incalculable. I don't believe that it's healthy to live in fear of our destruction ecologically, but remaining ignorant on the issues that the land and its creatures face is a breach of our new covenant as well. As it is in everything, a good balance is what we should be seeking. God gave us a beautiful home that He wants us to enjoy and embrace. We were created to use it and look after it, but with great power also comes great responsibility.